Hello, I'm Ali Langdon. Welcome to A Current Affair. To get around the city she loves, Imogen has always enjoyed hiring an e-scooter. That is, until she lost control and became another statistic. Our emergency rooms are dealing with at least 2 serious e-scooter accidents a day. The injuries are often similar to a high-speed car crash.
The doctor.
These patients are having significant injuries.
The patients.
I'm very lucky, very, very lucky.
The scientific proof. And why everyone agrees something's got to change when it comes to electric scooters.
We really can't afford to let this keep going.
Ready, steady, roll.
In the emergency department of the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital, there's a trauma room set aside for complex patients who need urgent care.
So Morgan, what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at you head to toe.
They're usually accident victims who've suffered multiple injuries, sometimes life-threatening, like in high-speed car crashes, falls from great heights, and now e-scooter patients.
How bad out of 10 would it be? 6.
Today, the trauma team is demonstrating how they assess a patient.
Yeah, I can't see any fluid there. Try the other side.
They're treating at least 2 people a day who've come off e-scooters. Trauma specialist Dr. Gary Mitchell.
These are not benign devices. They're very dangerous if not used appropriately.
26-year-old Imogen Horswell was treated by the trauma team. She occasionally hired a scooter to get around Brisbane until February this year when she crashed on the go-between bridge.
As I was coming down, my hat flew out. It just went like this, lost control, and I just flew. That's all it took.
Winded, concussed, she'd fractured her right shoulder and waited 10 minutes before someone found her and called an ambulance.
And that's when I laid underneath here for about 2 hours just going, I can't believe the amount of pain I'm in. What the heck has just happened to me?
What sort of injuries are you seeing?
Broken arms, minor head injuries, but some people have even died.
These e-scooter collision tests conducted in Japan captured the danger in slow motion. Frame by frame, this is what happens when an electric scooter hits a bump on the road, a pedestrian, a cyclist, a car.
Well, we can see here that the head and the face actually impacts on the car itself.
The RACQ's Michael Kane.
When you saw this vision, what did it ram home to you?
That the standard bike helmet is completely inadequate for a stand-up e-scooter.
It's a radical call, but more science backs him up. This X-ray shows the facial injuries scooter patients consistently suffer.
Most fractures are occurring on the bridge of your nose.
It's why the RACQ wants all e-scooter riders wearing full-face helmets and for stand-up hire scooters to be replaced with seated models.
Your centre of gravity is much lower.
So you'd like to see these rolled out on streets around the country?
So it can be done. There's no reason why we can't get rid of stand-up e-scooters from the hire schemes.
Ned Walker is lucky to be alive.
Had lots of bruises, in big pain.
He was riding on an e-scooter with a mate when he crashed, suffering skull and facial fractures. Mum, Katie Walker.
It was pretty terrifying. He was screaming in pain. My head, my head.
The 12-year-old placed in a coma and spent days in a paediatric intensive care unit with swelling on his brain.
Good boy.
Slowly, day by day though, the junior NRL star recovered, motivated to return to the footy field and warn others about his experience.
Wear a helmet and just be careful, be aware of what your surroundings are.
Queensland is ground zero when it comes to this e-scooter experiment. We were the first in the country to roll out a hire scheme, and now researchers here are leading a groundbreaking world-first study looking into why there have been so many crashes, particularly since 2021. And what they've found is that these hire scooters don't represent the bulk of hospitalisations.
2/3 of the patients that we see are riding private scooters.
Professor Kirsten Valmuir leads the Jameson Trauma Institute. Together with the RACQ and the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital Foundation, they're interviewing patients about their e-scooter crashes.
They're regular riders of the scooters. They're saying that they're wearing helmets, but they're typically saying that they're travelling at speeds over 25 k's an hour.
Which is illegal in most states around Australia. Owners are either modifying the speed limit of their e-scooters or unknowingly buying an imported model that's unlawful. Queensland's Transport Minister Brent Mickelberg will oversee a parliamentary inquiry into e-scooters. Mindful action, education and reform is long overdue.
Users who feel really strongly about the benefits of e-scooters and e-bikes, the community want to have their say, experts want to have their say, and what's really clear is the current framework's not working.
And the e-scooter inquiry is taking submissions until next Friday. It is clear something has to change.